What's up, everybody? It's J-Bo coming to you from this rest area that's just inside Virginia, right on the West Virginia line. Just absolutely beautiful, especially with some of the fall colors up on the mountain. Just beautiful. But just wanted to briefly talk about why I started with Hirschbach in the first place. Do we plan on staying with Hirschbach? And is it still a good place to drive in 2025? And the honest answer is the reason we came to Hirschbach is because at the time, which was kind of in the COVID and stuff, a lot of these companies were offering flat out paid CDL training, and Hirschbach was no different. They paid for our hotel, paid for our food, paid for our truck school. Pretty genius way to get people in, and my wife and I both took advantage of that opportunity. Matter of fact, she was in the very last class that was at the Hirschbach truck school there in East Dubuque. I believe now, if you're brand new and want to get hired on with Hirschbach, go through your local junior college, and then they'll hire you on. You can talk to a recruiter. Nate Dix would be the recruiter I would talk to, and but they can give you a list of approved truck schools. And then once my wife came on board and we started teaming, we were lucky enough to get on the Smithfield dedicated account. And Hirschbach has OTR, lease, dedicated lease. And just my opinion, I haven't worked at any other trucking companies, but I think if you're running dedicated, Hirschbach, it's a great job, because as long as you're available to work, you get paid. And especially if you team, you get paid pretty well, even if your truck's in the shop or whatever. We get a weekly guarantee from 0 to 4,250 miles combined, and then anything over 4,250, we start getting paid again. So it's a pretty good deal. In trucking, we like our job, but trucking is an industry where we're all kind of guns for hire. If we get an opportunity we can't refuse, we're going to have to look. But as for now, it's a good job. Freight's picking up, and those checks hammer home every single Friday, and we really like that. So another thing I will say for Hirschbach, I do feel like, and there'll probably be some people disagree with me, but from my experiences, if you pick up your stuff on time and you deliver it on time, they really don't bother us much. Like, the micromanagement is minimal if you're just doing what you're supposed to be doing. I will say that. So I'm not an expert on the trucking industry. I can just tell you, on the dedicated side of Hirschbach, whether you're Smithfield, Tyson, Lactalis, I know we have several others, but yeah, dedicated with Hirschbach is a good job, especially because my wife and I, we're from Southern Illinois. I have family in Northern Illinois, and my son lives in Central Illinois, and we kind of get to crisscross through that area enough where, we normally stay out 3 or 4 weeks and then go home for a few days, but we get to stop and see family, I'd say at least once a week. Yeah, that'd be fair. So if you have any questions, leave me a comment. I'm a pretty easygoing guy, and I'll get back to you. But I know there's people that make more money. I know there's people that run more miles. I'm not in the business of wanting to work 24 hours a day, and I feel like I make enough money. So if you have any questions, let me know. Pez y bendiciones, amigos. Hasta luego.